All right. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Hakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. All right. The title of this lesson is going to be called Wisdom and Fruits, Giving No Offense. That is, wisdom and fruits, giving no offense. All right. So, I guess we'll start with this out of Proverbs. You know, uh, this is Proverbs chapter 1. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7. We'll start at verse 7. Yep. As it reads, the fear of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom. All right. And we'll get Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10. As it reads, the fear of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, you know, he goes back to wisdom, with wisdom in the beginning. Like it says, the beginning of knowledge. I mean, the fear of the Lord. So hold on, let's get that. Let's get that. Fear of the Lord. All right. No, Salaki. Bear with me. All right. Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10. All right. The fear of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. All right. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. All right. We'll get this in Sirach. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 1 and verse 14. As it reads, to fear the Lord, all right, that is the Lord Yahweh Shai. To fear the Lord Yahweh Shai is the beginning of wisdom. And it was created with the faithful in the womb. All right. And that's heavy right there. And it was created with the faithful in the womb. All right. And that could go into the faithful. All right. And who is the faithful? Let's get that. Let's get that. All right. Salakia, just bear with me. This is Psalms chapter 31 and verse 23. As it reads, O love Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all ye his saints. For Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Oh yeah. So you guys that got too much pride, you got too much pride to use wisdom. All right? You're going completely against the scripture. As the scriptures teach us, and indicate that we should be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. All right. So let me read this again. Oh, love Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all ye his saints, whoever his saints are, right? For Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. So yeah, there's a reward. There's a reward for the prideful man. There's reward for the prideful man. And it's not the same reward as the saints or the faithful, better yet. All right? You're with me. So like we just said, man, that goes back with Sirach, chapter 1, verse 14, that read to fear the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. All right? So let's get this back over here. All right? For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai preserveth the faithful. So in the womb, he already preserved them. So whoever the elect was, or whoever the elect is, you know, they're faithful. All right. The Lord knew them in the womb before they were born. And no matter what you could try to come witness against any one of the brothers or whoever the elect may be, you know, you got something to witness against the hopeful elect. Hey, it doesn't really matter, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had chose them from the beginning. So whoever the elect is, all right, hey, they're chosen. They're the select people. So if you got something to witness or say against the elect, hey, you might as well hold your peace. The scriptures also say that judge not lest you be condemned, you know, for the same thing, just roughly paraphrasing. All right. But also, you know, those who got an ear, let them hear. All right. It says, judge not lest you be condemned. Right. But boom, if we go over to Romans, let's get that. It says that the spiritual man, let me get that. Spiritual judgeth. All right. So it's like it narrows down, you know, to the truth, to that narrow road. All right. One scripture says this about, you know, judgment or judging. And then another precept goes so far to say, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15, but he that Salakia, but he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. All right. So that's going down to that's like the narrow path. That's a straight path right there. All right. So judge not lest you be condemned. Also, 1 Corinthians 2:15, but he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. So, you know, what you got to say about, you know, any one of the brothers, you know, it doesn't mean anything. You're probably just condemning yourself, you know. The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, put a spirit on you or who it is, you know, to even think that or look at it that way, and then to say what they have to say. So now let me get into these precepts. You know, we'll start right here in Galatians chapter 5. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 19, as it reads, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right. And what I wanted to name the video was operate fruitfully. All right. Giving no offense. But as you can see, you know, the past couple of days, the brother's been going in on, you know, the situation that just happened with ISUPK and IUIC. But we're going to get into the fruits, though. All right. But this is verse 22, Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. You know, if you operating in the fruits of the Spirit, you're operating with wisdom. So how is it cowardly, you know, to operate in the fruits of the spirit? All right, that's just completely going off, completely against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai operated in wisdom, right? He didn't have to put hands on no one. All right. He used wisdom. All right. So this is verse 22. But the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. There's no law against any one of these words. All right. So love. Hey, what is love? All right. You know, the scriptures tell us, 1 John chapter 5 verse 3, that, you know, for to love the Most High is to keep His commandments. All right. So keeping, the precepts of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is love. All right. Reproving a brother, that's love, regardless of how they take it, whether they hear or forbear. That's love. All right. Joy. How do you get joy? There's only one way to get joy. All right. And that's through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. It goes into Yahweh Shai as well. All right. Peace. All right. How do you have peace? All right. The only way we're gonna have peace here is through this doctrine. All right. Through the word. All right. The bread of life. All right. The living word. All right. Long suffering. So long suffering. Just take them two words. Suffer long. All right. You got to be able to go through the afflictions and the sufferings. You on the street corners, like you remember the Elder Bishop Natazak when agent provocateurs or whatnot. With an agent provocateur, big black nigga out in the rain with no shirt on, you know, coming all up in his face right here, trying to kiss him and stuff. All right. The elder bishop demonstrated long suffering. All right. He had peace. One of the other precepts say, have peace with all men. All right. Just roughly paraphrasing, in other words, it says have peace with all men. So that's long suffering. Suffering long. You got a nigga in your face this close, probably spitting in his face, probably smell his stinking ass breath and all of that. All right. But yeah, you got, and I'm not vouching for ISUPK or IUIC, but yeah, you have someone come touch the chair, move the chair. Hey, who knows what I would do in that situation? But I don't know if it would have went the same way. All right. So long suffering is a fruit of the spirit. Another fruit is gentleness, being gentle. All right. When you see, things getting all heated and stuff like that, you might want to tone it down a little bit. It's already hot. Why go extra out, Goodness, all right, because none is good. There's no one that's good. All right. And faith. All right. Hey man, that's the fruit of the spirit, having faith. Moving in faith, operating, working, doing the work, being a doer, not just a hearer, right? Meekness, all right? As we know, it goes into blessed be the meek, you know. You got a rapper call himself Meek Mills, you know. But is he really meek? Temperance, having temperance, having some type of gravity about yourself, all right? To have gravity, that's temperance, all right? In so many words, let's just saying being cool, not being easily triggered, easily provoked, all right? All right? So against all of those fruits of the spirit, there is no law. So you're permitted to do that. As a matter of fact, yeah, we encourage you to have the fruits of the spirit. The scripture, the word encourages us to have the fruits of the spirit. All right. So verse 24. And they that are the Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections. Salakia, have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Salakia. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. You know, another example of what happened with ISUPK and IUIC. Hey man, they must have been someone was desirous of vainglory, if not the both of them, you know. But if you ask my opinion, I will say both of them, both of those camps. All right, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another. All right, sitting there talking about, niggas is maggots, but with the F in front of that, right? Or whatnot. Uh Sitting there going up to where they teach at, that's out of order. All right. You're not supposed to build on another man's foundation. All right. But on the flip flop of that, if you guys are teaching the same doctrine, which should be the doctrine of Yahweh, Salakia, which should be the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, then hey, it won't be no problem of teaching right there, because you guys could edify, which means build. You guys could build with each other. All right. And then, another thing is, having them big speakers and microphones and monophones or whatever they call, you know, that's not wise. All right. A couple years ago when I first got into the truth, I used to watch the WFI, and I used to watch these brothers out in Florida. And I remember watching one where a video where the brothers was out there with their little xylophones or monophones, speakerphone, whatever. And the police kept on warning them, coming up to their camp, telling them about the dB level, basically the volume of the speaker. Oh, it can only be this many dBs. You can only be this loud in public, So it's not wise to be out there with a speaker, and microphones, yelling and screaming. All right, it's not wise to be standing right next to another camp. Y'all ain't teaching the same doctrine, you know. They're picking up your voice, and your voice is picking up on their videos, All right. So that's provoking one another. That's not using wisdom. All right. And let's read verse 26 again. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. All right. Let's get this in Matthew chapter 10. All right, moving on. Matthew chapter 10. I believe I'm starting at verse 13. We'll start at verse 11. All right, this is Matthew chapter 10, starting at verse 11. And into whatsoever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy. Not inquire, but enquire. Enquire, so basically like to go seek out, is anybody worthy here? All right. And there abide till you go thence. All right. So, stay there until, you find that fish, And when you come into an house, salute it, right? And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. All right? So another thing, oh yeah, we unity camp, we all, unity camp. Oh yeah, me and IUIC, our camp, we in unity together. All right. How is that though? You know. So let your peace return to you. All right, verse 14. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. All right. That's what should have happened, between that situation with them brothers. All right. Uh verse 16. This is the main point. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. All right. So ultimately, you're presenting yourself as a living sacrifice, going out there to the highways and the byways, preaching His truth. Whoever you might run across, someone you might go to the grocery store or the market, dollar store or whatever. You might step outside, and, and end up talking to someone and giving them the truth. But the Lord Yahweh Shai send you forth as a sheep in the midst of wolves. All right, presenting yourself as a living sacrifice. All right. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right. So how was it cowardly to use wisdom? All right. Salakia. A coward is someone who just roughly paraphrasing the definition. A coward is someone who cannot endure. All right. So really that was cowardly. What happened? Someone that can't endure, that's a coward. All right. So let's get this next over here in Philippians chapter 1. Philippians 1 and verse 16. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 15, all right? This is Philippians chapter 1 and starting at verse 15. Some indeed preach the Hamashiach, even of envy and strife. So some indeed preach the Hamashiach of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preacheth Hamashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love. All right? Knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. What then? Notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Hamashiach is preached. And I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. So it's a beautiful thing to get how Shai is being preached, but on the flip side of that, you know, doing it for vainglory, doing it with not in sincerity or in truth, you know, that's not the way to go, man. You should be doing it to get the blood off your hands, and you should be doing it to wake up the hopeful elect. All right? And you should be doing it because you're just on fire for it, for the truth. So we close that one out. Let's get this in 2 Corinthians chapter 6. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and starting at verse 3 as it reads. 6 and 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3. Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed. All right? So you know what's about to happen. They got the artificial intelligence. They knows how to manipulate the content. All right? So they can have a 5-second clip of you, on your video. And, maybe a couple of words, maybe 100 words that you speak, and this artificial intelligence, they're gonna they could recreate content. They could basically take a little bit of content from you and make it say what they want to say, and put out their own narrative. All right. So just a little bit of offense, the slightest offense in anything could blame the ministry, which, it's going to be the will through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that to happen anyway. But like the Lord, has people in a strong delusion, has people in a strong, make people believe a lie because they will be in derision. They're going to believe a lie. They're going to be in, they just going to believe the lie. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. All right. So, yeah, give no offense to anything that the ministry be not blamed. So you got IUIC, you got 20 niggas from IUIC, and you got what? Two handfuls of brothers, at the IU, of niggas at the ISUPK. Because they both operated as niggas, we just gonna put it like that. So you got 20 niggas over here, jump these niggas over there. They were both out of order, all right? They weren't using wisdom, because first of all, ISUPK, I believe they came to IUIC spot, to where they preach and teach at, which that's out of order. That's not using wisdom to go over there. You're going in strife, all right, for contention. So you're preaching just like the last precept we just read, all right. Some preach Yahweh Shai Hamashiach in strife and envy and contention, and some do it in love. And then on the flip side of that, IUIC, that wasn't wise, to, had 20 niggas, come slam 3 niggas on the floor, and pin them down like in a police chokehold, like Jim Brown, the dude they killed or whatever. Not Jim Brown, or whoever the guy was, the police had. I can't breathe, that guy. So that's what happened. But it's also not wise, IUIC, to hey, this is why the brothers say, have 2 spots in the city where you will teach, Hey, Rodney King as well. Yeah, they did Rodney King like that too, you know. I don't know, but everybody will see the video. You'll probably see it. But yeah, it's why you should have 2 places where you would teach at on the highways and the byways. One for the weather. Like you might have some place where you have a little shade where you could go teach, and maybe if it's snowing or something, you might have another place with like maybe a little cliff over the roof where you could teach, and be straight in the weather. And also for the sake of if another camp try to come and cause contention, yeah, just pack up your shit and go over there to the other spot you teach, across the street, around the corner, wherever it may be. All right, so let me read this again. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So now the niggas could just blame Salakia. Niggas actually could see on their phones, oh shit, this is pay-per-view right here. Oh, kick up your feet, eat the popcorn. Damn, them niggas. Now it's something to talk about with these Edomites, those that are not of Israel. Oh yeah, look at these niggas, man. They fired down, damn, they jumped on these, they damn, oh, you know. So, that's causing the ministry to be blamed. And all it takes is just a little bit of that for the artificial intelligence, to create content. Or let me the brother at GMS Testimonials Visions 4 last night. Oh, Salakia. The brother at GMS upon precepts 4, he made a video this morning, going into the artificial intelligence, the GPT stuff, that stuff, and how they can manipulate content. Like we just said, man. You can answer the phone, and be like hello, but it's an artificial intelligence person on the phone, and you might have a conversation for 1 minute on the phone with artificial intelligence, and that's all they need, for it to manipulate you, and then next thing you know, you on the news, because they just have this little bit of physical movement, violence or whatever by you, you and IUIC and ISUPK fighting. And next thing you know, it could be something else on the news, And so, man, yeah, we got to be careful. Yep. The sister just said, you're giving the white folks what they want. Yeah, that's what they want, Hell yeah. So they could, because they're already trying to, the brother just posted a video, or no, I believe I saw an article. I really should do a video on it. I saw a news article, about 2 or 3 of them, talking about how the GPT AI, the artificial intelligence GPT chat, they're trying to rewrite the Bible. Or they said, first one of them that I read said they want to rewrite Genesis, the book of Genesis, through artificial intelligence, so it could be animal friendly. How are you going to change the laws of the Most High so it could be animal friendly? Hey, how about Shai said you could eat these type of foods? So they're going to change it to where it could be animal friendly. What does that mean? They're trying to change the laws so that, you won't know which foods are defiled. You won't know, the laws of Yahweh Shai. So moving on, let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40. And this is one of our favorite ones, to read. As it reads, let all things be done decently and in order. All right. So you come up to IUIC's camp where they teach at. What do you expect is gonna happen? This is where IUIC teach at. All right. Then whatever y'all was saying, y'all was going forward, pressing the line on that, which you wasn't wrong for what you was saying, because the Lord is against, the alphabet community. All right. But hey man, that's not decent and that's not in order to go up to their camp and stand right next to them with a loudspeaker, talking, whatever you was doing. All right. So that was bound to happen. Maybe how about Shem Yahushua is judging two camps in one stone, two birds, one stone. All right. Uh oh yeah, let's go up, jump up to verse 33. All right, this First Corinthians chapter 14, jump up to verse 33 as it reads, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. All right. So man, that was just a whole bunch of confusion. You got one camp, you literally standing right next to these dudes, they over there, marching and stomping and being loud all together, and you over here with a speaker, microphone, and you provoking, you provoking them because you coming to where they teach. All right. So the Most High ain't the author of confusion. That's just causing a whole bunch of confusion, you know, on their video, they recording, and then they recording, we picking up what they saying on your video and what y'all saying getting picked up on their video. It's just out of order. All right. So that's why at the end of First Corinthians chapter 14, the last verse says, let all things be done in decent and order. Salakia, let all things be done decently and in order. All right. Romans 13 and 10. All right. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 10, as it reads. All right. Yeah, this is beautiful. Starting at verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. All right. Hey man, when you actually loving a brother, and when you say brother or brethren, that still refers to the sisters, When I say shalom akyam, all right, that's still saying like brethren, it's saying to the brothers and the sisters as well. So, love worketh no ill to his neighbor, all right? It's just talking about to the Israelites, Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. That's why Yahweh Shai said, no wise do I, counsel out the law. But I'm saying, since you want to ask me a question, which commandment is greatest of all? Well, let me tell you. Let's get that Matthew 5:48. Let me get in another Bible real quick. Matthew 5 and 48. Salakia. Just bear with me. This is Matthew. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. Oh, Salakia, that's the wrong one. Okay, just go up a little bit. Well, no. Okay. Yeah. This is the whole chapter, starting at verse 43. All right. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43 as it reads. Ye have heard that it hath been said that thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. This is using wisdom. So, for the higher ups at ISUPK to say that, oh yeah, it says be wise as a humble and harmless as a dove. But fuck that, I ain't gonna be no coward, we're gonna turn up on these niggas. Basically, in so many words, that's what you're saying. All right, that's not using wisdom. Using wisdom is to love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. Now, to hate thy enemy is actually still loving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because remember, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3 says, for the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. All right. And the scriptures also say that the righteous hate wickedness. Or it also, just roughly paraphrasing, also says that that the righteous hate lies, lying lips, All right. This is verse 44, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies. All right. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. All right. But really, the precept I was trying to say was that when they asked Yahweh Shai, Salaki, they asked him like, so what's the greatest of all the commandments? He said, man, love your neighbor as yourself. I didn't want to lose my point right here in Romans chapter 13, so let's jump back over here. Romans chapter 13, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. You know, for example, I want to, want my brother to get into the truth or whatnot. I'll give him the elder apostles pages, subscribe on his phone or whatnot. Then he goes on the elder apostles pages and starts scoffing, and saying things, I let him know multiple times, like, man, if you're gonna post anything, just say shalom, and post scriptures if it goes with a lesson. But you can't be going on there scoffing. So, you go on there scoffing. So I have to tell him, like, man, hey, ask him, like, man, what's going on, man? All right, man, that yeah, you can only post scriptures or, give a shalom or whatever, something that has to do with the lesson, because we're not like those other camps to where, we could just go, we just talking, they just talk, ISUPK. They just made a 3-hour video and they had 2 precepts, but they never read the 2 precepts. Then IUIC, they just did the same thing, a 3.5-hour video. I believe it was 3.5 hours or something like that, 2.5 hours. And they had 2 precepts as well. And they never got to the I think they might have read the precepts. But like, to love your neighbor, all right? All right, it says love worketh no ill to his neighbor. All right. You're gonna rebuke, even if hey man, you want them to come to the truth. Are you still gonna tell them, hey man, that's not cool, man. You can't do that. You see, the brothers put you on timeout. They think you a scoffer. We already got enough scoffers coming on the comment board, making names with our pictures on it, talking about GMS this and GMS that, saying some homosexual things, or calling us alcoholics. Yeah, I drink my beer. So, what do? You're giving people wine, all right? Or are you giving people false doctrine? Better yet, that's what the wine is, all right? So therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law, all right? And that, knowing the time that now is the high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. All right? So let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness. All right? That's purely drunkenness. I'm not talking about being drunk off of beer. All right? To go pull up next to IUIC's camp, you feel me, screaming and shouting, whatever you was doing with your xylophone, monophones, or whatever, phones, microphones, whatever. That's drunkenness. That's out of order. All right. Rioting. You can see that the action, the body language of the IUIC camp. One of the dudes. He started pulling off his garment and stuff like how niggas take off their shirt. Like, nigga, all right, what's happening? We finna get down. You can see one of them do that and then come move their chair. So I don't know what I would have did in that situation if it was me. But hey, man, the water Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that it wasn't me, because you could clearly see on the video, the dude taking off his garment, like, about to turn up, like, fuck that, I'm finna go over here and move these niggas shit, and, so, not in rioting and drunkenness, all right? Not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. Hey, that's over there causing strife. You're gonna come stand next to these dudes' camp where they teach at. What's the point? The scriptures say, don't go try to build on another man's foundation, man. All right? But IUIC go over there and teach. That's just out of order. That's stupid. All right? So verse 14, put ye on the Lord, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. All right? And you can see both of the camps doing that, all right? Making provision for the flesh. Oh, this is the last time I'm going to hear these niggas say this. pull off your garment. All right, they were getting ready to pack up, so some of them were taking it off, but you could see one of those guys' behavior. He was just turned up, like he was in L.A. County Jail. They got to catch fades. All right. So let's get to yeah. Back in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 23. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 23, as it reads, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. So yeah, all things are lawful. All right. All things are lawful, for us to do. And but in this time, day, and age, hey, it's not expedient. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 22, it tells us the laws of grapes, and that type of thing. All right. Or it tells us, how things be, how people get put to death and people being stoned. All right. How, but in this day and age, you're going to go to prison for some shit like that. You can't do that. It's not expedient. So all things are lawful for me, an Israelite, right? But all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. All right, so yeah, it was lawful for you to go stand next to IUIC and go do that and tell them that they're wrong about preaching that ABC community is whatever, because IUIC, well, I don't know what they did with that, but they was basically, saying it's okay for the ABC, EFG, XYZ, right? So ISUPK came over there and they wanted to, they were being lawful, but is that using wisdom? All right? Is that using the fruits? All right? That's not using the fruits of the spirit, and that's not using wisdom. All right? Because why? But all things edify not. So yeah, it's lawful for you, but that's not expedient and that's not edifying. So now you got people looking, people that's not part of the camp, or people that may watch the camp and they're watching y'all camps and they're like, God damn it. Now now no one's being edified about it. They just talking about it. Oh yeah, you might even have some of those dudes. Oh, you see how I fired off on that nigga? Oh, you see how I got him on the ground and pinned. Oh, you see how, Then you got the IUIC dude saying, oh yeah, move, nigga. I dare you to move. Or don't you move. You better not move. You better not move. Yeah, call the police. You better not move. Like, come on, man. That's not edifying. All right. I guess I'll read verse 32 as well. 32, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 32. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of the Most High. Do you know what this means? It says, give no offense, give none offense, neither to the Jews. All right. Y'all's referring to, like, the brothers that are in the truth right now, that are actually in the truth and have the, doctrine. Nor to the Gentiles, to the brothers that don't have the truth. It might be these brothers. It might be, all right, so you ISUPK, IUIC is going off by, teaching what they was teaching, or vice versa. This IUIC and, ISUPK is going off by, being convicts and gangbangers, right? So give no offense, neither to the Jews, which are the brothers that are in the truth, right? Nor to the Gentiles, which are Israelites who don't, know that they're Israelites, or they are not in the truth. Nor to the church of the Most High. The church of the Most High is Israel. All right. So, hey man, you're not supposed to give offense. All right. Back at Ephesians, let's get into these fruits. Ephesians chapter 5. All right. Ephesians chapter 5. I think I'm gonna start around verse 9 or 10. Yep. Salakia. Salakia. All right, Ephesians chapter 5, starting at verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh Bashem Salakia. Salakia. Let me read that again. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord Yahweh Shai. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. All right. Basically, in so many words, Don't get down with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather, reprove them. Basically, not getting down with that is basically like rebuking it, in so many terms, or you know, expose it, in so many words. Verse 12. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Hey, wherefore he hath set Salaka. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. All right, and the Hamashiach shall give thee light. So this is the main point right here, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So for, they little leader, they elder, whoever it is, whoever the guy is, of ISUPK, to say that all right, to go read the words that Yahweh Shai said in the book of Matthew to be wise as a serpent but harmless as a dove. So he read those words, all right? But then he goes forth to say that, nah, nigga, we ain't no cowards. We gonna get down, basically. All right? Hey, man, that's completely going against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Let me get this, Matthew 5 and 19. That's beautiful. I'm already here. All right? So look, this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 19 as it reads. This is Yahweh Shai's words, all right? You see red letter? All right? Matthew chapter 5 verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So for you to go tell your congregation, you're going to read a precept that Yahweh Shai actually sped that is written in red letters, and then say that, we ain't going to be no cowards about it. Obviously, your vocabulary messed up and you don't know the definition of a coward. Coward is someone who can't endure, an unpleasant situation. All right? That's because people got so westernized and Americanized, they don't even understand language. I mean, they don't even, their vocabulary messed up. That's why you got to go back to the Hebrew and back to the Greek, but for the most part, go back to the Hebrew. All right, get into the etymologies. All right, so see then, back at Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly. So any word that starts with circ, like circle, means circle. All right, so if a word starts with a circ, like circumstances, so the stance is the way, so the circumstances of what's going on with me, so it's every single situation that I got going on, so in the whole circle of stances that I'm in. All right, so circumspectly, all right, yeah, put on my specs and read the Bible. So see then that you walk circumspectly, all right, brother, going live again. See then that you walk circumspectly. That means, you looking all around, you using wisdom. All right. It says not as fools, you just, it says, but as wise. All right. So when you using wisdom, you're doing what? Verse 16. All right. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. These days are evil. So you'll be redeeming the time by using wisdom. All right. Because what? Let me get this precept for you real quick. Wisdom, stability. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, as it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So if you have wisdom, all right, you're gonna read the scripture and see where it's giving you wisdom and be like, oh no, fuck that. I gotta do this in this situation because niggas got me fucked up. Hey man, if you sow into the spirit, you reap the spirit. But if you sow into the flesh, you're gonna reap carnality, Just in other words, roughly paraphrasing that precept, all right? So, and wisdom and stability shall be the Salaki. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right, of your days. All right, it's gonna keep you going. And strength of salvation. So, wisdom and knowledge is gonna be the stability of your strength and your salvation, being saved. All right. So, the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is his treasure. All right. So, the scriptures also go into wherever thy heart is, so will thy treasure be. Roughly prayer. Let me get that. Salaki, I don't want to butcher it. All right. So will treasure. Salaki, just bear with me one moment. I'm gonna just type in heart treasure. See if it pops up. Yep, this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 21. As it reads, for where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. Your heart, all right, goes back to the Hebrew word called lav, all right? But lav means mind, all right? So heart, when you see the word heart in the Bible, it's talking about your mind, all right? So for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So you could read that precept the other way around. After the comma, you could say, will your heart will be where your treasure is. So let's go back to that. So wherever your heart is at, that's what you're focused on. That's your treasure. All right. So the fear of the Lord, like it says right here, redeeming the time, wherefore, Salakia. Where was I just at? It says, fear. Oh, Salakia. I think I just, that was Isaiah. Salakia. Let me go back to that. Yep. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, the stability of thy times. You know, it's gonna keep you straight. Wisdom and knowledge. All right. When you don't use wisdom and knowledge, both y'all camps, you're gonna end up looking like them on the internet, Probably even make the news, make the newspaper. All right. It might have a city council meeting or a federal council meeting, and make a new ordinance statute, to hurry up and kick off this famine of the word. All right. So you got to use wisdom and knowledge. All right. That'll be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. But now peep this. This is the point. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So when you operate in the fear of the Lord, like I started in the beginning of this video, for Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7, and Proverbs chapter 9 verse 12, I believe. The beginning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the other one, the fear of the Lord, is knowledge. Just roughly paraphrasing those precepts. All right. So let's go back over here to Ephesians chapter 5. And we'll start at verse 17. Go back to where it was at, verse 17. Wherefore, be ye not unwise. The scriptures tell you not to be unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord Yahweh Shai is. So that's a prayer to pray right there. You want to ask Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, but with that being said, I guess my connection isn't so well right now. I hope that was an edifying lesson. Might have to just make a part 2. Lord willing, I'll be able to make a part 2. Hey, but I hope that was edifying. Hey, I'm going to end by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Shai, Bahashem, Bakah HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, wherever they may be. All right. Shalom to those, preaching the truth and sincerity. All right. And shalom to the brothers and the sisters, that tune into this video. Shalom. Peace.